Okay, so I'm just responding to another frequently asked questions, and I have my own opinion on this. Initially, I was of the opinion that Jojo was partly responsible, but since Medicine Festival have come back with all these lies and this fabrication of the story, I have changed my opinion, and now I actually hold Medicines Festival 100% responsible for this whole incident. Not 50%, not 75%, not 85%, 100% responsible for this whole incident. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? Because surely we are all responsible for ourselves, right? If I'm walking on the pavement, or I step in front of a bus, an oncoming bus, then it's my fault. Yeah, sure. It's definitely my fault, right? But this is not that situation. This situation happened, and only happened because this lady, okay, was allowed to dance, walk, be around the fire for half an hour with nobody intervening. This massive fire, and you look at this fire right now, this is a bonfire. There was no need for the fire to be this big. Surely at festivals we've all been around fires. That's totally normal, right? We've been around fires. Okay? And then normally people are sitting around the fire being really nice and really relaxed. This was not a relaxed moment. Things were crazy. There was like trance music playing on the main stage. It was really intense. There was this intense energy around the festival. We had people. This other guy, Bob Hillary, was dancing around the fire, banging his drum, screaming on the top of his lungs. Joe was doing some prayers into the fire. Okay, there was this other. I don't know where he is in this picture, but this firekeeper who was kept on coming into the circle and putting bigger logs and even more logs onto the fire. You can see that these logs are spread out, and they are actually trip hazards. This massive log just shifting out here, in the path of where there shouldn't really be logs. There's massive logs like sticking out here. These are all trip hazards. In the meantime, Joe plus myself plus Bob Hillary are around the fire where if anybody was really responsible, if there was a fire marshal or if there was security, surely the security should have come up. And especially if they thought somebody's on alcohol, somebody's been drinking or anything like, somebody should have gone to Joe and said, "Hey, Joe, listen, you're standing a bit close to the fire. You're moving around it. There's all these trip hazards. Please, can you just go sit down or move out of the way?" Nobody did that. She danced and moved around there for at least half an hour. Nobody told her to sit down. I was around the fire for at least half an hour, I can't remember how long the whole process was, but at least an hour. Not one person came to me and told me to sit down or move away from the fire. So that's what I mean. If this fire was actually held in a safe and proper way, okay, with safety precautions in place, like you notice now, this was 2020. 2021, okay, they made massive changes. All of a sudden, this space was huge. There was a massive space all of a sudden. Nobody was allowed to stand next to the fire. The only person allowed to come into this circle where the sand was parted was the firekeeper. If you go now and you try walk into this area, somebody's going to tell you to sit down. Certainly, nobody's going to be allowed to stand here, dance, pray, sing, scream, do anything for more than a few minutes before somebody goes and tells them to sit down. If you refuse to sit down, they're going to go straight away and get the security. So they have learned their lessons. But it's a lie that they had this full security and this whole process in place at this time. That is a complete lie. She was allowed to dance around here for half an hour. If anybody had been on alcohol, and you would assume that people at a festival are possibly intoxicated. She wasn't, but most people are. Okay, you shouldn't allow people to dance around a bonfire. This is a massive fire for more than half an hour with nobody telling them to sit down. Of course an accident is possible, and that's why I hold Medicine Festival 100% responsible. Now Jo is generous. She doesn't hold them fully responsible. She says, okay, well, I also hold partial responsibility. She says, but Medicine Festival definitely hold some responsibility. She's generous. I'm not. I say 100% responsible. Not only that, it wasn't her fault when she fell in the fire. She got pushed. I don't know what it was that pushed her, but something pushed her. She didn't fall. She didn't faint. She wasn't drunk. She didn't even trip. She got pushed. I was right there, standing right next to her. I saw exactly what happened. She got pushed. It wasn't her fault. So that's why I say she is totally not responsible for this situation. This situation should not have happened. If the Medicine Festival had any health and safety regulations in place, they wouldn't have allowed the situation to happen.